Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Uttaram Yat Samudrasya Himadreschaiva Dakshinam Varsham Tad Bharatam Nama Bharati Yatra Santatihi. Welcome to all for this session on Skanda Purana to chapter 13 of Kaumarika Khanda under the Maheshwara Kanda. Since the last few chapters, we were listening to the story of King Indradyumna, who came down to earth to find whether anyone know him, whether his fame is still known in the world. However, he could not able to find anyone knowing about him, since he even met people who are living since last so many kalpas, but even none of them knew about it. And finally, he found one tortoise, Kurma, living in the Manasa lake, who knew about him. And then immediately the aerial chariot came from heaven to take him back to the heaven. However, he rejected and he told that he would like to become a Shiva Gana, which will be a permanent position rather than a temporary seat like the position in the Swarga. And then, on his request, Kurma the tortoise, it took him to Lomasha the sage living in the Kalapa village. And all of them, that is the sage Markandeya, Nadijanga the crane, Prakarakarna the owl, and the Gridhra Raja, that is the vulture, as well as this tortoise, along with Indradyumna, all of them had become the disciples of Lomasha achieve their goal to become, in order to achieve their goal and wanted to come out of their curse and become the Shivagana. Narada continued the story. The king heard these words of that great sage and said, I will never abandon you, go to any other person. By being blessed by you only, I shall just today propitiate the Linga which bestows all the siddhis on men. Let all these go the way they have come. On hearing those words of the king, the crane, the vulture, the tortoise, and the owl also bowed down to sage Lomasha and told him the same. That Brahmana, who was the friend of everyone, told them, Let it be so. He blessed all of them who were worthy of being enlightened and who bowed down to him like disciples. The sage, who was kind and compassionate towards those who bowed down to him and who was eager to bless them, instructed them by initiating them in the procedure of Linga worship according to the injunctions of the sacred treatises of Shiva cult. It is appropriately said that the association with good people is far superior to a visit to Thirthas or the sacred places. The assembly of good men is like wonderful, unprecedented type of sunrise which causes immediate maturity and ripening of fruits and is an instantaneous dispeller of unhappiness and misery which is difficult to be wiped out. It is extraordinary because it dispels the darkness within and not without, as in the case of sun. Absolutely. The waves of nectarine juice of the pleasure arising from the contact with the assembly of good people are all excellent. They are like the real ambrosia. They have all the six states. They are sweet like sugar and honey. Thereafter, all of them with sage Markandeya and the king at their head, who attained the association of saintly people at the bidding of Shiva, began their Kriya Yoga, the performance of holy rites. Even as they were engaged in penance, once in the course of my pilgrimage, that's this story is being told by Narada. So Narada himself, in my course of pilgrimage to the holy spots, I went to that place eager to see Lomasha. Thus, Narada came there to meet Lomasha. Pilgrimage includes visiting important persons as incidental to visiting holy places. The place frequented and resorted to by good persons alone, O king, is also that is holy. After due veneration and offering of hospitality was over, after I had finished taking rest, O Phalguna, they with Nadijanga as their head bowed down to me and asked me, they means Nadijanga and others said, O holy Brahmana, we all the four of us are fallen due to the curse incurred by us on account of our own act. Direct us to some holy place for observing ourselves from the curse. This part of the earth yields no fruit, O sage, and Bharata is full of fruits because they were living in the Kalapa Grama, village Kalapa, which is beyond the Himalayas and outside the boundaries of Bharata. That's why they are saying, O sage, and Bharata is full of fruits. There to mention one place where the benefit of all tirthas can be had. On being asked thus by them, I spoke to them, ask Samvartha. He will tell you exactly where you can find that region of the earth which is conducive to the attainment of benefit of all the tirthas. They asked, where is this yogi? We never knew him before. It is a blessing unto us that we will attain liberation on meeting Samvartha. If you know him, please tell about that person. Association with a friend will not be fruitless. After pondering deeply again and again, I spoke to them. This Samvartha is in Varanasi. He resorts to a hidden linga. He is smeared with dirt. He does not wear clothes. He eats what he gets by begging after Kutapa, the eighth muhurtas of the day. He eats food out of his own hands that serve the purpose of vessels. He is in every aspect devoid of possessions. He meditates on the Supreme Brahman, the Lord designated as Pranava Om. After taking his food, he goes to the forest in the evening. This great yogi is not known to all people. He is the Lord of yogis. There are others having an outward form like like him wearing the linga. I shall describe his characteristic features whereby you will be able to recognize the sage. A dead body should be placed on the main road at night without the knowledge of the public, but you must remain close at hand. He who comes to that spot and suddenly turns back is Samvartha. Means someone who comes to that spot seeing the dead body, if he turns back, he is Samvartha. Undoubtedly, he does not tread on a dead body. He should be approached humbly and asked what is desired. If he asks you, by whom have I mentioned to you all, you tell him about me. Immediately after that, say, after mentioning you, he entered fire. On hearing this, they all carried out my suggestion. They reached Varanasi, and on seeing Samvartha, they all did as instructed. On seeing the corpse placed by them, Samvartha returned, although he was very hungry. On seeing him going quickly, they followed him. Stop for a moment, O Brahmana, saying thus to him as he went along the highway, they followed him. As he went away, he rebuked them, saying, return, you must not come anywhere near me. It is not good for you. He then fled to a faraway lake and asked them all angrily, by whom have I been mentioned? Tell me quickly so that I can reduce him to ash by the fire of my curse, or I shall burn you if you do not tell me the truth. Trembling, they told the sage, we are told by Narada. Then he asked them again, where was that gossip monger gone now? Where is he now among all the worlds? I shall reduce that contemptible nominal Brahmana to ash. They become frightened and told the sage again. They said, after mentioning you to us, O great Brahmana, he entered fire immediately. We do not know the reason thereof. Samvartha then replied, I too would have done to him what has been done by himself. So tell me your business. I will not remain here long for your sake. Arjuna then asked, "If you have entered the fire, O celestial sage Narada, how did you manage to life again? Explain this miracle to me." Narada explained, "Neither fire nor ocean, neither wind nor a tree, neither a mountain nor a weapon have power to destroy my body. O descendant of Bharata, further that Samvartha thought has been performed by me. I have been honored even after entering fire. I came out unaffected, just as someone, O Phalguna, enters a flower house. Indeed, so also I entered the fire and came out." Now listen to what happened subsequently. Samvartha told them, that is to Markandeya and others, "Let the path be made free from the corpse and or bone. I am hungry. I will wander in the city for alms. Put the question to me." They said, "We have fallen due to a curse. We shall attain liberation by your blessings. O great sage, tell the means to the same to us who have bowed down to you. O Samvartha, tell the name of the Tirtha where a man attains the benefit of all the Tirthas. There we shall stay." Samvartha then replied to them, after paying obeisance to Kumara and Durga, "O excellent ones, I shall tell you about the Tirtha called Mahi Sagara Sangama, the confluence of River Mahi and the ocean. By means of his sacrifices, this earth was lifted up by 2 angulas. By this intelligent lion of a king, Indradyumna, because of the burning of the logs, the earth was scorched then. A stream of water exuded from it. It was bowed down to by all the Devas. It came to be known as the river Mahi. They know that its water consists of all the Tirthas on the earth. The river named Mahi rises in the country named Malavaka. It is an auspicious river, both the banks being highly meritorious. It falls into the sea in the south. The great river named Mahi has been in its earlier stages full of all the tirthas. What doubt then about the sanctity of of its meeting place with the Lord of rivers? It is stated that the waters of Mahi comprises the essence of waters of all the 20,600 holy tirthas and rivers, namely Varanasi, Kurukshetra, Ganga, Reva, Saraswati, Tapi, Payoshni, Nirvindhya, Chandrabhaga, Iravati, Kaveri, Sarayu, Gandaki, Naimisha, Gaya, Godavari, Aruna, and Varuna, these and hundreds of other holy rivers on the earth. It is said that according to the words, that is opinion of Kumara means Skanda, the fruit one obtains by taking baths in all the tirthas on the earth is gained by taking a holy dip in the confluence of Mahi and the sea. If you wish to see the assemblage of all the tirthas in one place, go to the highly meritorious Mahi Sagara Sangama. I too stayed there for many years formerly, but came here because I was afraid of Narada. He was there nearby. He is a great gossip monger. My fear is this, that he would mention about me to Marutta, who is performing a yagna. As I am excessively afraid of Maratha, I am staying here, wholly disguised in the middle of many naked sages as one of them. Further, even here, Narada will certainly mention about me activities of that sort of this slanderer are seen. This should not be mentioned by you all to anyone anywhere. King Marutha is endeavoring to secure me in order to accomplish his yagna. For another reason, he has been abandoned by my brother Brahaspati, the preceptor of Devas, knowing me to be the son of his earlier preceptor Angirasa. He wants me to be a Ritvik in his yagna. I do not have any benefit through the performance of sacrificial activities that involve injury and violence and that are included in avidya. There is some benefit through the sacrifice performed by means of insentient articles such as twigs, flowers, darbas, etc., as mentioned in the Vedas. If it is performed through insentient articles, the benefit will also be so, since the effect is similar to the cause. Hence, you all go there quickly, following the king. The Brahmana Yagnavalkya himself is Brahma, that is, the presiding priest in the Yagna there. Formerly, he was staying in the city of Mithi or Mithila in his excellent hermitage. On seeing a Nakula, which basically stands for mongoose, on seeing a Nakula or the mongoose coming, he spoke these words to Gargi: O Gargi, take care of the milk. O gentle lady, here comes a mongoose, or in Sanskrit called as Nakula, word of that Nakula who is intent upon drinking the milk. On being told this, the Nakula became infuriated. He had been angry formerly and had been cursed by the ancestors of Jamadagni, and because of that reason, he turned himself into that mongoose, also known in Sanskrit as Nakula. He said to the age, Alas, fie upon you both, fie, fie, shamelessness is seen in men who commit sins. How do they commit sins? Those mean men who have to experience severe pain in hell after death. How can one commit sins? One in whose life the existence, even for a moment, is not certain. O sage, you think thus I am intelligent, I am of noble birth. So you rebuke me, O foolish one, very proudly saying this is Nakula, because here Nakula also means mongoose, and Nakula means one who doesn't belongs to any particular family. Nakula, who is familyless. O Yagnavalkya, what has been learnt by you? What is your position as a great yogi? You rebuke and revile at an innocent one. Fie upon that learning of yours. Tell me in which Veda, in which Smriti has this been stated, whereby you call me Nakula and rebuke me with those harsh words? Don't you know this? If a person utters harsh words to others, the followers of Yama will place their feet on his throat and pierce his ears with as many iron darts as the harsh words used by that wicked man. Even as he is crying loudly, hypocritical, talkative people like you rob poor people through 1,000 hands of dharma on account of your words, which were equal to a thunderbolt, a weapon smeared with poison, or Kalakuta itself. My condition became somewhat like that of death. They can remove painful darts stuck in ears and nose from the body, but the dart of wounding words cannot be taken out because it remains sticking to the heart. It would be better if a man was killed after being afflicted and crushed by means of machines, but one should not at all cause injury to him by means of harsh words. How was it that I was struck and wounded by means of harsh words like, You are a Nakula, Nakula, one without a decent family, by you, O Yagnavalkya, a pedant who always fancies himself to be a learned person? Samvartha continued. On hearing these words of his, Yagnavalkya was greatly struck with wonder. With palms joined together in reverence, he spoke. Obeisance to the great Adharma means evil whose origin we do not know. Though we know even the minutest atom, when comes to arrogance of learning in the case of good people, Virinchi, that is Brahma, Vishnu, and others, as well as Soma, Indra, and others are omniscient. Even they make a mistake. what to say of ordinary people like us? If a pitiable wretch of a man fancies itself as a knower of dharma out of delusion, the wretched fellow then desires to restrain the wind within his fist. Some are doomed due to ignorance, some due to their pride of knowledge, some base and mean men are doomed on account of their lethargy even after obtaining knowledge. It has been laid down in the Vedas, Smritis, Itihasas, and Puranas that Dharma has four padas, feet, but the mean fellow, a brute, does not bring it in practice. It is clear that he will repent and regret after reaching the abode of the god of death. Verily, it has been stated thus by the compiler of Grihya Sutras in the scripture, one shall call Nakula as Sakula, one with a family. One shall not touch anyone in his vulnerable point. Although I have got it all by heart, yet it is just parrot like, that is blindly repeating what others say. Whether it is due to lethargy or due to non adherence to good conduct, it is futile, it is same. The man who is contented with the reading, that is learning by heart alone, and one who professes to be a scholar is considered to be a brute. There is no worse brute than he. The Vedas do not redeem a deceitful person from sin. He continues to go and return on account of Maya. That means he will keep taking the rebirth. Just as the chicks with full edged wings abandon the nest, so also at the time of death the Vedas will leave him off. If a Brahmana were to prepare himself to go to heaven by reciting the Veda alone, he is like a child seated in the lap of his mother but desiring to seize the moon. Hence it behoves you to suffer my rude misdemeanor and pardon me for it. Everyone says like this. The same was repeated by me thus. The Nakula then said, this is indeed a vain utterance on your part that you consider yourself like all ordinary people. This is not proper for noble souls to say so. The difference among horses, elephants, and metals, logs of wood, stones, and garments, women, men, and waters is great in extent. If other ordinary, uncultured people commit many kinds of sins, should they be followed by important personage and perpetrate similar sins? The sacred literature has been composed for the sake of all. The mind and intelligence have been given to all by the Creator. Still, if there are sinners, it is not the fault of the Creator. They alone are unfortunate ones. Should a Brahmana particularly be like ordinary people? Since all people do whatever a great man does or imitate what the great man do, and since all the people follow whatever authority he lays down before the duty or dharma of good people, good people should not be abandoned by the great men at any time, even for their own sake as well as for the sake of others. Your learning is unbecoming and unjust. Since I have been afflicted by you, O sage, with terrible words, I will curse you immediately. You are considered worthy of a curse by me. You told me you are a Nakula. Hence, you will be born as the basest in the family out of delusion. You will be a Nakula, O sage. Samvartha then said, on hearing these words, Yagnavalkya decided the future course. He was reborn as son of Brahmana in the Marudesha, the desert of Marwar area in the Rajasthan. He became the son of a Brahmana of bad conduct, and was a sinner. He was a ruthless and garrulous one. He belonged to a vicious family. The son of son, it means that in the previous life he was a Yagnavalkya. The son could remember the events of the previous birth because he was a Yagnavalkya in his previous birth. His name was Bhartyayagna. Bhart, Bhar- one minute. His name was BarthruYagna. Observing through the eye of knowledge, that Brahmana came to the sacred secret place Mahi Sagara Sangama. There he became a Pashupata, the follower of sect of Pashupati Shiva, and was devoted to the propitiation of Shiva. He is there now worshipping Mahakala, born of the self born Lord. The man who perpetually worships Mahakala with great faith and devotion becomes liberated from the blemish of being born in an ignoble family, like a serpent living off his slough. As and when he looks at that linga with sincerity and faith, he gets liberated from the defects arising from 100 births. BarthruYagna performed the worship of the linga there itself and became rid of the defects of the seed, that is the hereditary, because his father was a evil person, so that defect he had got rid of it. That was the greatness of that particular linga. After getting rid of the ignoble birth, he called Nakula a mongoose by the word Babru, tawny colored. Hence, this sacred Tirtha became famous as Babru Tirtha, which is also there near the Mahi Sagara Sangama. Hence, go there itself to the meeting place of Mahi and the ocean, resorting to the 5 Tirthas there, you will surely attain salvation. After saying thus, these 5 Tirthas are discussed in the first chapter of the Kaumarika Khanda. After saying thus, the Brahmana Samvartha went away as he pleased. After approaching the sage BarthruYagna in at the Mahi Sagara Sangama, all those 5 people they stayed there. By means of his power of knowledge, he knew that they were the Ganas of Shambhu. He said, indeed, your merit is great and free from impurities, because you have come to this hidden holy spot where the river Mahi meets the ocean. Ablution, charitable gift, repetition of holy names, homa, and offering of rice balls to the Pitras, in particular, all these become everlasting in their results if performed at Mahi Sagara Sangama. Holy dip, gifts, and other holy rites performed here will yield never ending benefits. When formerly the celestial sage Narada established this holy place, boons had been granted by the planets. This boon had been granted by Shani. When the new moon day coincides with Saturday, if one performs Shraddha there along with a holy tip, charitable gifts, etc., if on a Saturday in the month of Shravana, the Kuhu, that's a new moon without the slightest visibility of the moon, that's called as the Kuhu Yoga, also falls, and your sun has its monthly transit, and if the yoga called Vyatipata also happens to be there in the same tithi, the lunar day, the holy combination is called Pushkara. It is superior to 100 Parvanas. It is, that is, Parvana is a type of Shraddha. It is with great difficulty that the combination of all good yogas is obtained. On that day, one should duly worship an iron image of Shani and a golden idol of sun at the meeting place of Mahi and Ocean. Shani should be meditated on with mantras pertaining to Shani and sun with the Surya mantras. Arghya should be offered to the sun for the destruction of all sins. The holy dip here is superior to that of Prayaga. Charitable gift here is more beneficial than that of Kurukshetra. Offering rice balls to means O son of Pandu, is superior to that offered at the holy place called Gaya. This holy Parvana is attained through great heaps of merit. It is definite that the Pitras met meet with everlasting satisfaction in the firmament. Just as Gaya Shiras is meritorious and excessively conducive to the gratification of Pitras, so also and even more than that is the meritorious Mahi Sagara Sangama. While taking a holy dip in the Mahi Sagara Sangama, there are certain mantras which need to be recited, and following is the meaning of those mantras. Agni is the Rethas, that is semen virile in the body, along with Mrida, the graciousness. Vishnu is the discharger of the Rethas. He is the navel of Amrita, the nectar. Repeating these truthful words mentioned above in the mantra with great faith, one should take a plunge in the meeting place of Mahi and the ocean. Mantras for giving argya are as follows. The holy ocean is the mouth of all the rivers. The excellent Mahi is the Amba, means mother or goddess. It is in the form of all the Tirthas. To these two I offer the argya. I bow down and salute them. The following 18 names should be repeated at the time of the holy day. The man who is a devotee should repeat them everywhere at the time of Shraddha. The names are Tamra, Rasya, the names are Tamra, Ramya, Vayovaha, Pitripritipada, Shubha, Sasyamala, Mahasindhu, Dhatur रथुस्तुता इंद्रद्युम्न कन्या क्षितिजन्मा इरावर्ती महीपर्णा महीशृंगा गंगा पश्चिमवाहिनी नदी महानदी. These names have been mentioned by Prithu. The person who repeats these names shall go to the region of Yagnamurti, that is Vishnu in the form of Yagna. This is the mantra for the Arghya. O Queen of Rivers, you were born at the time of milking of the earth, which yielded great delight and which fascinated the whole universe. You absolve me, O flow of Mahi. One who bestows ever even a silver bangle here is reborn on the earth in a family abounding in wealth and food grains. The mantra for offering a silver bangle, the bangle should be thrown, offered, repeating the following mantra. I worship Mahi and Sagara with the offering of a silver bangle. Let there be no poverty or loss of wealth unto me. By taking the holy dip and by offering charitable gifts at Mahi Sagara Sangama, one gets the same benefit as one gets by visiting all the tirthas together and by performing all yagna. When a dispute arises or when a crime is committed, he, the suspected person, should be asked to swear with water in the cup of his folded palms at Mahi Sagara Sangama. He should be bathed repeating the Aghora mantra. He must then be made to stand with the level of water coming up to his navel in the Mahi Sagara Sangama. He then must be told to repeat the following after raising his right hand. If there is a dharma virtue there, if there is a truth here, if this Sangama, the meeting place of Mahi and the sea is truthful, if the seers of the Kratus are truthful, my auspiciousness and inauspiciousness shall be true. After saying this, he brings down the right hand and forcibly comes out. If he is a sinner, he will get fever instantaneously. Otherwise, he is considered to be devoid of guilt, even if he gets fever after 7 days. By taking holy dips here, by repeating holy names, and by performing penance here, very many persons have gone to Rudraloka through the sacred and holy river rites. He who takes his holy bath here, particularly on a Monday, with great devotion and visits the five Thirthas, is liberated from all sins. Thus, the greatness of the Tirtha was narrated in various ways. After instructing them in Puja Yoga, there is a rite of worship in accordance with the injunctions of the Shiva Gamas, that is sacred scriptures of the Shiva cult. BarthruYagna explained to them the procedure of propitiation to Shiva. The sage, filled with the ocean of devotion to Shiva, spoke to them. There is no Lord greater than Shiva. This is true, O devotees of Shiva holy rites. Indeed, he who abandons Shiva and worships anything else, non existent and unreal, abandons the nectar within his hand and runs after a mirage. This universe that is directly perceived is identical with Shiva and Shakti, being marked with Linga and Bhaga. Nowhere is it marked with any other Deva. He who abandons Rudra, the father, and Ambika, the mother, behaves like one who abandons his own father and offering of libation and rice balls to the mains. If you wish to wash off all the sins, listen to the greatness of Rudra in the following excellent Shatharudriya. In the following verses, the names of devotees and the lingas they worship are given along with the names they repeat as japa, and this is called as Shatharudriya mantra. There is a Krishna Linga, black Linga at the Krishnamula. Its name is Arjita. Having worshipped that Linga, Sanaka and others won over or attained the goal of the universe. The seven sages, Saptarishis, worshipped the Linga in the form of the shoots of Darbha grass, and its name is Vishwayonika, the source of origin of the universe. Worshipping it in the firmament, Narada extolled it as Jagat Bija, seed of the universe. Indra worships an adamantine ling, and the name he repeats is Vishwatman, the soul of the universe. The sun worships a copper linga. The name for this japa is Vishwasraj, the creator of the universe. The moon worships a pearl linga, repeating the name Jagatpati, the Lord of the world. The fire god worships a linga of sapphire. The name he repeats is Vishveshwara, controller or master of the universe. Shukra repeats a ruby ling, and the name he repeats is Vishwakarman, the maker of the universe. Dhanada, that is Kubera, worships a golden linga and repeats the name Ishvara. Vishvedevas worship a silver linga, and the name they repeat is Jagatpati, protector of the world. The wind worship a linga of brass, and the name is Shambhu, the grantor of prosperity. Vasus worship a linga of bell metal, and the name they repeat is Swayambhu, the self born god. The mothers worship a linga made of three metals, and the name is Bhutesha, the lord of living beings or goblins. The linga of Rakshasas is made of iron. The name they repeat is Bhuta Bhavya Bhavodbhava, the source of everything past, present, and future. Bhuta Bhavya Bhava Udbhava. Guhyaka worship a linga made of lead. They repeat the name Yoga. Sage Jaigishavya worships a ling in his Brahmarandra, the aperture in the crown of the head. The name he repeats is Yogeshwara, the master of yoga. Nimi worships the linga in his two eyes and repeats the name Sharva. Dhanvantari worships a ling of Gomaya, full of rays or cow dung. The name he repeats is Sarvalokeshwareshwara, the master of all lords of the world. Gandharvas worship a linga made of timber, and the name is Sarvashrestha, the greatest of all. Raghava Rama worships the linga of lapis lazuli, and the name he repeats is Jagat the most preeminent in the world. Bana worships an emerald linga, and the name is Vasishta, the most excellent. Varuna worships a crystal linga, and the name he repeats is Parameshwara, the Supreme Lord. Nagas or the serpents worship a coral linga, and the name is Lokatrayankara, the creator, Lokatrayankara, creator of the three worlds. Bharati, the goddess of speech, worships Tara Linga, the linga made of big, beautiful pearls, and the name is Lokatrayashrita, the supporter of three worlds. Shani, the planet of Saturn, worships a linga at Sangamavarta, an eddy at the place where the river meets the ocean, and the name is Jagannatha, the Lord of the world. In the region of Shani at Mahi Sagara Sangama, Ravana used to worship a linga made of jasmine plant at midnight, repeating the name Sudarjaya, that means unvanquishable. Siddhas worship Manasa, the mental linga. The name they repeat is Kama Mrityu Jaratika, the transcender of karma, death, and old age. Bali worship a linga of gleamed food grains. The name he repeats is Gnanatman, the knowledge soul, the soul of knowledge. And Marichis, the imbiber of rays. Marichipas worship a linga found out of flowers. The name is Gnanagamya, approachable through knowledge. Being born of dung worship Sakratlinga, linga made of dung, and the name is Gnana Gneya, knowable through knowledge. Penapas, imbiber of foam, worship a linga evolved from foam. The name they repeat is Sudhurvidya, extremely difficult to know. Kapila worships Okulalinga, linga made of sand, repeating the name Varada, the bestower of boons of Hara. Saraswata Saraswata worship the ling in the speech, and the name is Vagishwara, the controller of speech. Ganas worship Linga in the form of Murti, idol, and the name they repeat is Rudra. Devas worship a Linga made of Jambunada, this particular variety of gold, and the name is Sitikanta, black throated. Buddha, the planet of Mercury, worships a Shankalinga, a linga made of the conch, and the name he repeats is Kanishta. Ashwins worship a linga made of clay. The name they repeat is Suvedhasa, the excellent creator. Vinayaka worships a linga made of flour, and name is Kapardi, god with matted hair. Puja, the Mars, worship a linga made of butter. The name he repeats is Karalaka, the formidable one. Tarksha, the Garuda, worships a linga made of cooked rice, and the name he repeats is Haryaksha, yellow eyed or lion. Rama worships a linga made of jaggery. The name he repeats is Ratida, the giver of pleasure. Kachi worships a linga made of salt. The name is Babrukesha, the brown haired. Vishwakarman worships Prasadalinga, the palace linga. Prasadalinga, and the name is Yamya. Vibhishana worships a linga made of dust particles. The name is Suhruttama, Suhruttama, the best friend. Sagara worships a linga made of bamboo shoots. The name is Sangata. Rahu worships a ling made of Ramatha, that is basically Asafoetida, Ingu. He repeats the name Gamya, approachable. Lakshmi worships Lepyalinga, clustering linga, and the name is Harinetra, Vishnu's eye. Yogins worship the yogis worship Linga station in all living beings. The name is Anu, immovable. Human beings worship different kind of lingas. The name is Purusha. The name is Purusham Naman. The constellations worship Linga of the nature of splendor. The name is Bhagabhaswara. There is brilliant Shiva. Kinnaras worship Dhatulinga, Linga made of minerals. The name is Sudipta, extremely refulgent. Brahma Rakshasas worship the Linga, and the name is Devadi Deva, Deva Deva, that is God of gods. Vararas, that is elephants. They worship the Linga made of tusk or ivory. The name is Ramhasa, or it must be, yeah, the name is Ramhasa. Sandhyas worship Linga of the nature of seven lokas. The name is Bahurupa, multiform. Seasons, that is Ritus, worship Linga of the nature of Durvashur. The name is Sharva. Celestial damsels worship the Linga made of saffron. The name is Shambhupriya, favorite of Shambhu. Purvashi worships a Linga made of red lead. The name is Priyavasana, that is Priyavasana, favorite perfume. Perceptors, preceptor worship Brahmachari Linga, Linga in the form of religious student, and the name is Ushnishi, that means turban wearer. Yoginis worship a linga of Alakataka, that is basically the red lac, and the name is Shubhabhruka, that is excellently deep brownish. Siddha yogis worship a linga made of Sri Khanda or sandalwood and is named as Sahasraksha, thousand-eyed god. Dakinis worship Mamsalinga, linga made out of the flesh. The name is Midhusha, that is most bountiful. Manus worship a linga made of anna, that is food. The name is Girisha. Agastya worships a linga made of vritti, that is the rice grains, and the name is Sudhanta, extremely pleasant. Shukanta, that is extremely quiescent. Devala worship a linga made of barley, and the name is Pati, the protector. Valmiki worships a linga made of Valmika anthill, and the name is Charuvasi, that is eternal. Chiravasi, the name is Chiravasi, the eternal dweller. Ratardhana worships Banalinga, Linga found in Narada, and name is Hiranyabhuja, golden armed one. Daityas worship a linga made of black mustard. The name is glorified as Ugra, the terrible. Danavas worship Nish, Nishpavaja linga, linga made out of the wind caused by winnowing. The name is Dikpati, the lord of cardinal points. Clouds worship Linga of the nature of Nira, that is water, and name is Paranjayapati, the lord of rains. Yakshas worship a Linga evolved from pulses. The name is remembered as Bhutpati, the protector of Bhutas. Pitras worship a linga made of cooked gingerly seeds. The name of the linga is Vrishapati, the lord of bull. Gautama worships linga of the nature of Goraja. The name of the linga is Gopati, the lord of cows. Vanaprasthas, that is forest dwellers, worship a linga made of fruits. The name is Vrikshavrata, their one surrounded by Vrikshamvrata, one surrounded by trees. Skanda worship Prasanna Linga, the linga made of Pashana Linga, the linga made of stone. The name is Senanya, the leader of the army. The serpent Ashwatara worship a linga made of food grains, and the name is Madhyama, central or impartial. Yajavan worship a linga made of purodasha, the sacrificial offering of ground rice, and the name is Shruvahasta, one with sacrificial ladle. Yama worships a linga made of black iron. The name he repeats is Dhanvin, the wielder of the bow. Jamadagnya worships a linga made of barley shoot. The name is Bhargo Daitya, lustrous Daitya. Jamadagnya worships a linga made of, I think it is repeating, and the name here it is given is Bahurupa, many formed. Mandhata worships a linga made of sugar. The name is pair of Bahuyuga, pair of arms are two armed. Cows worship a linga in the form of milk. The name is Nahasraka, the one with thousand eyes. Sadhyas worship the linga of the form of Bhartras, that is Lords. The name is remembered as Vishwapati, the Lord of the universe. The twin sages Narayana and Nara worship a linga made of munja grass, and the name is Sahasrashira, the thousand headed. Prithu worship linga in the form of Tarksha, that is Garuda, also snake or horse, bird, etc. The name is Sahasrakarana, thousand Sahasracharana, that is thousand legged. Bird worship Vyomalinga, Skylinga, and the name is Sarvatmaka, the immanent soul of all. The earth worships Merulinga, Meru in the form of a linga, and the name is Dvitanu, twin bodied. It also stands for Ardhanarishwara. Pashupati worships a linga made of sacred ash. The name is Maheshwara, the great lord. Sages worship linga of the form of knowledge, and the name is Kirasthana, that is eternal abode. Brahmanas worship Brahmalinga. They know the name as Chesta, the eldest. Shesha worship a linga made of Gorochana, that is yellow pigment made of cow's bile and urine. The name is remembered as Pashupati, the lord of Pashus. Vasuki worships Vishalinga, poison linga, and the name is Shankara, happiness giver. Kshaka worships Kalakota linga, Kutakya linga of the poison Kalakota, and the name is Bahurupa, multiform. Karkota worships a linga made of poison Hala, and the name is Ekaksha, that is one eyed. Padma worships a linga made of the poison named Sringi, and the name is Durjati with heavy matted hair. Putra worships linga of the form of Pitra, the father. The name is Vishwarupa of the form of universe. Goddess Shiva worships a linga made of Parada. That is, here Shiva means Parvati. Goddess Parvati worships a linga made up of Parada, that is Mercury. And the name is Trayambaka, the three eyed god. Matsya, the fishes. Others worship Shastralinga, Linga in the form of sacred literature, and the name is Vrishakapi. Sorry. It is called Vrishakapi. Of what avail is much talk in this vein? Whatever thing there is in the world possessing magnificence and splendor has been made so by means of the holy rite of propitiating Shiva. Because if you observe the material with which the Shivalinga was made by those people, it is made out of every material available in the world, and they gave different names to that, and they do the japa with that name. If ash can turn out to be a tree by being drenched in water, one devoid of devotion to Shiva can be said to be successful in his effort. If you have an inclination towards the attainment of Purusharthas, the aims of the human life, namely Dharma, Artha, and Kama, that is virtue, wealth, and love, and liberation, Moksha, Hara should be propitiated. He is considered to be the bestower of all the three worlds. If a person reads this Shatharudriya, the 100 names of Shiva, every morning, Lord Shiva will be pleased with him and will grant him all the boons. There is nothing else more meritorious than this and wielding greater benefits than this. It is the secret of all the Vedas. This has been mentioned to me by Sun God. When Shatharudriya is repeated, all the sins are destroyed. The sin that has been committed through words and the sin that has been perpetrated mentally, if he repeatedly reads Shatharudriya, he who is distressed with sickness becomes liberated from ailment. He who is bound become liberated from bondage, and he who is under some fear becomes liberated from fear. If a person recites these 100 names and pours 100 potfuls of water on the linga and puts 100 flowers on it and bows down to Shiva 100 times, he is liberated from all sins. These 100 lingas mentioned above, the 100 devotees and 100 names of Rudra, all these are destructive of all defects. Particularly, he who recites the verses at least 5 lingas out of these 100 lingas is liberated from the faults arising from the objects of the 5 sense organs. Narada then said, on hearing this, they means the Indradyumna and others become joyous. They prayed, worshipped the 5 lingas, and became devoted to the meditation of Shiva. A long time after that, Lord Shankara rejoiced at their excellent devotion. He became personally visible and told them thus: O crane, owl, vulture, tortoise, and King Indradyumna, you will attain the Sarupya, that is having the same form as that of Lord Shiva, a Sarupya form of salvation, and will stay in my world. Lomasha and Markandeya will become Jivan Muktas, liberated living beings. When this was spoken by the Lord of Devas, the king installed the Linga. The name of that Linga installed by Indradyumna is called as Indradyumneshvara or Mahakala. After understanding the good qualities of Tirtha and desirous of permanent reputation, the king installed the matchless Linga of threefold beauty and said, let this Indradyumneshvara Linga be delighted and flourishing for many long years, as long as the moon, the sun, and the earth last. Whereupon Lord Shiva said, so be it, and said further, he who regularly worshipped this Indradyumna Linga installed by Indradyumna here will certainly become a Gana and live in my world. After saying thus, the moon crested Lord went to the world of Rudra along with those 5 who become Ganas. King Indradyumna, the overlord of the earth, was a king of such a power. When that heroic king performed yagnas, this river Mahi was created by him. It is in this manner that Mahi Sagara Sangama became meritorious. It has been secondly recounted to you, O Partha the Arjuna. A man who takes his holy dip in this Sangama and worships Indradyumneshvara will permanently dwell there where the Lord, the consort of Parvati, that is Shiva, dwells. Since this Linga had been installed by him after casting off all bondages and attachments, this Linga is destructive of all bondages. It bestows the lordship of Ganas, O Phalguna. Thus, the meritorious greatness of this excellent Sangama has been recounted to you. The greatness of the miraculous merits of Lord Indradyumneshvara also has been recounted to you. It is conducive to sanctity. Thus ended chapter 13 of the Kaumarika Khanda under the Maheshwara Khanda in Skanda Purana. Namaste Sharada Devi Kashmira Puravasini Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.